So I'm with the same producer that I told y'all about that I first met making the beats in Bayonne, New Jersey. We have a chemistry there. Like, we had records. My album was done. I was hot. I needed a record. I needed a single. That's what happened with Pump It Up. I needed a single. I've told this Pump It Up story so many times. Of
course, okay.
I needed a record. Saw Just Blaze. Made the record.
Yeah, we heard, okay. We don't got it, because, Rock the, it's what you Rock the Mic 2, they passed on it.
Yeah, they
right?
passed on the beat. But I don't know that at the time. Mm-hmm. Ignorance is great, man. I don't know that at the time. At the time, he played a beat. He tried to skip past it really quick. I was like, no, bring that back. It was the scenario shit to me. I thought I was about to do some real hip hop shit. I had no idea that would turn into what it turned into.
Let me.
But I had my record.
Yeah, let's stick to that real quick.
6 months later, the album was out.
I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
I'm finished.
Got some?
You went to Jay in a studio to get a verse. Skane told me that Jay-Z charged $250,000. Now, when I was speaking to Skane, I said, I heard this story, and I called him today, and I said, I want to understand that.
Hey, thank you.
Do you feel like he didn't like, because we know Jay, do you feel that, did Joe do something when he met him in the studio to kind of rub him the wrong way, to offend him? Was Joe, because I remember you said that Jay at the time was your favorite rapper at the time. I think I saw something, I remember watching a video you saying that. So I asked him, do you think Joe might offend him? Was he a little bit too overzealous for him to charge that price? Because like Skane said, I remember where I was at. I remember where I was standing when Jay told me that. He said, I told Jay, like, Jay, it's me. And I said, do you think that, because this is going to be a two-part question, I'm long-winded. Do you think that Joe did anything to warrant that price? He said, no. Why do you think Jay, and I'm asking you the question, why do you think Jay put that big number that was more than half of your budget, the budget for the project?
I don't think it was a big number. I think that was his number. That's my number to rap on this new artist remix. It was just big in my world, but it wasn't a big number.
So now in retrospect, you look at it differently, from a different lens.
100%.
Because, like you said, 20 million is not a big number. Huh?
20 million's a big number.
Oh, I just saw something when you talked about it. Don't worry. So, but now in retrospect, that's not a big number. Like, you don't feel like, at the time, it was big to you. You felt like, did you feel like the relationship that he had with Skane?
And listen, again, I'm super young in that moment. I wasn't in the studio when they had the conversation. I knew that they had some type of relationship. It was a Just Blaze beat, and I was green behind the ears. I mean, I just thought that it would get done. I didn't know anything about the business and how things like that are supposed to go. That was part of the course. It was like normal. Oh, this is what you want? Yo, because you my man, I'm having this conversation. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have this talk about no new artist with nobody. But since it's you, 250. It was big to me because it was unattainable. Like it was outside of my budget. But the blessing was that he gave a number. If there was a way to get it, maybe this gets done. Maybe the start of your career goes different if you can find that money. But no, we didn't have that. You
were upset about, you at the time you were offended, and then you said some choice words.
No,
yes?
Well, I let Webb and them niggas put a battery in my back, and I was a young, hungry rapper, so
Don't blame the family.
I'm not blaming. I'm just saying.
Don't say that.
Webb was charged up.
Oh, chill.
Webb got me charged up.
He got away. What the call? He got away.
Webb has a way of getting niggas charged up.
He does.
And he charged me up, and it didn't take much. So let me be accountable in the situation. And I wanted to rap, but I was still coming from. Remember, I come from ciphers and battling and shit like that. So now I'm thinking, same shit. It's rap time. It's battle time. I thought that's what the niggas did over here, but no. I mean, it worked though.
It did.
I got my remix.
Give me that beat, fool. It's a full-time Jack move. Did you like what he said on that?
Loved it.
It's hot, right?
Went crazy.
And this is the second question because I asked
the Michael Jordan, the rap recording. Yeah, you went crazy on that.
Holy baby. Matter of fact,
Who's the nicest life or lifeless?
Yeah.
On his mic device. He went crazy on that.
Let me ask you a question though.
Oh.
If somebody like that, right, jumps on the record and you don't like the verse, would you tell him?
Well, no.
No.
What jumps? It's all right. Wait, jumped on my record or just jumped on the beat?
No, like, all right.
Because if the instrumental is out and you are
instrumental different. I'm talking about, the record's out, remix now. He's
on an official remix.
And
Oh yeah, no.
He sends you a verse.
Oh no. Yeah, you tell him.
Someone like Jay-Z. At the time, well, still now, but it's still Jay-Z.
No, he could have farted on that shit and it would have worked. That didn't matter.
I ain't talking about nobody in particular.
Yo, whose side was you on? Shit, nigga.
I ain't
This
gonna
nigga
lie.
over there whistling. This nigga over there, what the fuck is going on?
But you couldn't have said that.
You could tell you wasn't around.
Are you crazy? You couldn't have. I was there. You could have said that in front of them, but it still was hot listening to it as an adult.
No, it was. I'm talking shit. It was.
I couldn't have said that in front of them.
was.
Though. I couldn't have said that in front of Webb and them.
That's what I'm saying.
They was too like what? It was too. It was a lot. And then being, yeah. So
Good old days.
The second question I asked is, you wanted to know what I asked Kane. I said, somebody had mentioned, he said, I just had this conversation, Flip. I said, do you feel that Jay could have done more when he became the president for Joe? And I asked him, I said, do you feel that he could have done more to to push him or to push his album or done more for him as an artist? And Skane said, I just had this conversation. And his reason was, he said no, because when I was able to get Jay on the phone, and he said that having that relationship, like Jay would pick up on like anybody that Jay called would pick up on the first ring, and he had that rapport. He said he got Jay he wanted Timbaland to get a beat for Joe, and Timbaland was acting, at the time, and he said he called Jay and Jay made it happen. But I asked him, I said, do you think that anybody else sees it like that? And he said some people may, but he said he didn't feel that way. So that question is to you. Do you feel like Jay, when he became president, could have done more for you, for you as an artist? No. Or you really feel you see it the same way as Skane sees?
Are you asking me this today or how I felt back then in the moment?
I know how you felt back then.
Oh, okay. No, I don't feel like that today.
Yeah, because today,
today
you got a lot of money now.
Today I understand his disposition.
What do you mean? Explain it.
Well, what other black rapper became the president of a label anywhere? Anywhere.
And he was still an artist?
It was him. And he was still an artist. He had to manage the label, manage his own shit, his own businesses that he had going on. Like the spot that he was in then, that was self-centered, or again, more ignorance, just not knowing, only looking at it from my perspective and my eyes. And yeah, that's wrong.
But you was mad when you were younger. The younger you were upset, you were offended, you felt like more could have been done. Younger you.
Yeah, but saying that needs to be inward.
Got it.
It didn't need to be outward. Before that's ever towards somebody else, you've got to make sure your bases is covered and you covering them. And that's not what was happening back then. What reason did I have to feel like I should get a release date before the label thinks I should get a release date. In that moment, it's not like I had a Fetty Wap year in 2016 where I got all these records running and hey, put me the fuck out. Like, that's not what was happening. So, nah. And yeah, I remember the sessions where it was Timbaland, it was Hove. Like, there were times where, like, I remember there being a segment where we was trying to really get this album done and completed, and who knows why it didn't happen, but that's the music business. I don't feel like that.
But you don't. I don't really agree with you.
What'd you say?
I can't tell you how to feel, but I know you feel. I know that you're a man that thinks. You had to think something back in the days.
I didn't know anything back in the days.
Got it.
And when you don't know enough, all there is to do is feel.
Assume.
It's feel.
Yeah.
It's to just be sensitive to things, be reactionary to things. If you don't know.
But now that
I didn't know. I didn't know shit about shit.
Now that you became in the business and you became successful and you see things from a different scope, you're able to understand things better.
1,000%.
You know, that's a part of growth.
1,000%.
But at the time, it wasn't that. I remember hearing about it.
He did diss records against Def Jam.
He did. Nigga was bugged out. Yeah. Shit, yeah, nigga. Yeah. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And you should have been charged a fee like they was charging Dipset anytime that they dissed them. You should have been charged.
I don't know anything about that.
Of course you don't. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Do that smooth stuff. You should have been charged a fee.
The funny thing about that, though, is I went to record a bunch of joints with Ronnie Jerkins, Dark Child, and that CD or those files got leaked somehow amongst DJs, and a DJ named that record Def Jam Diss. I didn't purposely say, hey, this is a Def Jam diss. That was just more ventilation type shit for me, more therapeutic type shit. But when it went out titled that way, that's what it was.
And you stood on it.
What?
Were you proud of that?
Proud of what?
The work, the music, and were you proud of that? Like, did you stand on it being called a Def? You didn't go against it. You didn't say, nah, it's not a Def Jam. It's not a Def Jam.
Well, I don't think I was on the greatest of terms in my own brain with Def Jam. Again, more just idiocy, right? True. Because who was paying for me to be out there with Dark Child trying to come up with records? A lot of it was just emotional and lack of understanding, man. Not to say that there weren't valid points at some point, but not enough for some of that shit that went on back then.